PACE calls for complete ban of Russian and Belarusian athletes from Olympics.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe has adopted a resolution recommending that the International Olympic Committee not allow Russian and Belarusian athletes to participate in the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris, even under a neutral flag. According to the document, the Assembly believes that the participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes in the Olympic and Paralympic Games in the current circumstances is unthinkable, will be used as a propaganda tool, and will de facto make it impossible for other athletes, including Ukrainian ones, to participate. The PACE underlines that the absence of a strict ban will encourage Russian citizens to believe that the world is ready to maintain ties with Russia despite its military aggression against Ukraine. The Assembly underlines that by appropriately excluding athletes from aggressor states, the IOC would demonstrate its commitment to the values of the Olympic Games, promote peaceful solutions to conflicts, and send a clear message to the Russian and Belarusian governments that their actions have consequences and that the international community stands in solidarity with Ukraine. PACE calls on the national representatives of the IOC, national and international sports federations to express their opposition to the IOC's proposal to allow Russian and Belarusian athletes to participate in the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris, even as neutral athletes. The document contains a strong call to the IOC and its sports bodies to ban the participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes in the Olympic and Paralympic Games in Paris, as well as in all other major sporting events, as long as the war of aggression against Ukraine continues. Background: the Council of Europe's leadership supports the call for the International Olympic Committee to ban Russian and Belarusian athletes from competing in 2024.
This post received a score of 5,400, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
How many athletes does a country have to murder before they are banned from the Olympics? Unfortunately, the IOC and Russia are corrupt as each other. How many times does a team's players need to be caught cheating before they're banned too? Especially when the Russian government itself is sponsoring doing.
And if that wasn't enough, the Russian military also has very strong ties to their sports scene. They basically run and fund their most successful athletic groups.
It's not like they've demonstrably shown themselves to be cheaters or anything, and that's not even mentioning the war.
I'm not keeping track, but it really does seem like every event.
They had a state-sponsored doping agency. So yeah, that is basically the case.
I agree with all that they are saying, but what is PACE and do they have any influence?
Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, PACE.
Do they have influence?
Not really. It's up to individual country federations and the IOC, and they are hardly ignorant of what the issues are. Also, for clarity, it's not just Europe. Asian and African federations get to have opinions too, and they aren't as comfortable with the precedents being set as the Europeans are.
They are rampant cheaters, so good riddance.
About bloody time too. State-sponsored cheating totally against the whole spirit of the games.
We really need to clamp down on this. It's a rampant issue everywhere nowadays.
Beyond cheating, IMO world sports are less about diplomacy now and more about whitewashing shitty countries globally. I don't think Russia or Belarus deserves to be whitewashed. I also have more countries that I don't think deserve it, but I don't want to do whataboutism. It's not a comparison or saying to not ban Russia and Belarus. Ban them all.
The word you are looking for is sports washing.
Was there ever any resolution or medal ceremony for figure skating?
If the athletes wanted to compete without being associated with the genocide committed by the Russian state, they would have to be political refugees openly protesting Russia's actions. Not quietly wearing fascist symbols.
That's not how the Olympics work, just like the UN.
Maybe they should introduce murder points as a new category in the Olympics.
Both countries' representatives should be banned from everything international except for the International Tribunal. Isn't the whole stuck of the Olympics that the nations of the world set aside their conflicts to compete in sport? I can see why they would be hesitant. That said, I agree that stuck is revealed to be fatuous now, with the aggressor country actively committing genocide. I'll have no interest if Russians are competing.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.